Are you ready for an unforgettable experience? Get ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's get hyped.
What's going on, Dallas Cowboys universe, Cowboys Nation? Welcome to another episode of the Late Night Hype. Special guest back in the building. Y'all know we had to bring him back. Jesse Holley, DallasCowboys.com, former Cowboy, hanging with the boys. Are y'all ready?
Let's go.
Y'all see him over there jamming. You like that? You like that a little bit, Jesse? You like that?
like that.
What's going on, Mr. Fourth and Long? How you doing, bro?
I'm good. This is how you know I like y'all a lot. Okay, this is how you know I like y'all. Because the NBA Finals are on.
I know.
Uh-huh.
Trust me.
This is how I know I like y'all. So I'm like, the NBA Finals is coming on Wednesday. But them my dudes, so let's do it.
I appreciate you, bro.
Let's do it.
We appreciate you.
Listen.
They
I'm
Laker fans
I'm a
too.
Laker fan.
Both of them Laker
Yeah.
fans.
Me too, but
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that.
Lord
Trifecta.
have
Yes.
mercy.
Let me say
I'm
this.
Dallas Mavs. Let's rap it, Luca.
let me say this. I'm a Lakers fan,
Okay.
but I've taken a hiatus because I'm not a LeBron fan.
Me too.
I didn't like the move for LeBron coming to LA. But
Mhm.
I always tell people I can differentiate. I like LeBron, the man.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I'm not a LeBron fan, the player.
On the same page here.
There you go.
So I'm still watching because basketball is my first love. I love basketball. So
Hey, you got a championship.
Yeah. So this is y'all my dudes.
I appreciate you, bro. We on the same page. I am a diehard Laker fan. I am not a diehard LeBron fan. I respect LeBron's game. I think he's one of the greatest players of all time. When we got him, I was like, cool, we're going to be back in the championship contention, but don't mistake me for a LeBron fan.
These are my goats right here.
There you go.
These are
All three of them.
Yeah.
These are my goats.
All three of them.
These are my goats
You
right
said
here.
all trium.
Yeah, these are my goats.
I took up athletic coaching as a minor in college, and I read Phil Jackson's coaching book, man. He's just a GOAT. He's a GOAT.
Yeah.
Says, sure, when you show me that whistle.
What's going on with the chat, man? Appreciate you guys joining in here, as Jesse said, during the NBA Finals on a Wednesday. But we got some things to talk about. It's been a rocky start to the Cowboys season. I think a lot of us figured it would be some type of slow start, but we don't like to see that 1-2. It's not a good feeling. We are behind Mike McCarthy and the new regime and whatnot. But there's some fans out there that are getting a little flaky right now. But how you feeling so far? I want to just jump right into it because I know that's your guy. That's our guy right now.
Yeah.
But how you feeling so far about it? I know we're 1-2, but again, I still feel like this is Mike McCarthy different.
Yeah, no, I'm still excited about it. I am. And Mike's still my guy. And I have no choice but to stay on this ship right now because I was spearheading this thing.
Yeah, you was. You can't get off of it. You was all on Mike McCarthy train. You better ride it till the wheels fall off.
But the thing is that there's a little PTSD in this thing.
PTSJG.
Huh?
PTSJG is what we call it.
That's it. Yeah. PTJ, all of that. Because most teams that get new coaches, they're given this sort of grace period, right? And that's not happening here. Everything that happens in Cowboys Nation has to be immediate. It has to be right now. And I get it. I know the talent that you have here is outstanding. But I said this on my show yesterday. There still feels like there's a residue of Garrett still left on the culture of this team. And we cannot, as much as we want to make excuses for it, we cannot dismiss the fact that literally 7 weeks ago was the very first time that Mike McCarthy and his staff literally got a chance to put their hands on these players. So it's pretty tough to change a culture over Zoom. It's pretty tough to really see, because you can watch all the film that you want and you can have a thought process in your mind. But then when you get into the mix of things, how do things flow? How do things work? You know, does that player fit there? Does this play call fit there? Like, when you got into training camp, you had to evaluate players, formulate a roster, cut guys, put in a game plan. Oh, and by the way, prepare for the LA Rams. All in 4 weeks. You see what I'm saying? And I don't want to make excuses because
that's real.
No one wants to hear that. But that's the realness about this. And I know we always have all the names, right? You got Dak and you got Zeke and you got Amari and Lamb and all, you got all these names. But it matters when you have to have some sort of cohesion that goes into this whole game planning thing and how I put a system together and how guys actually gel together. These guys haven't really gelled together. They're still. We already see what happens on defense.
I was just about to say the defense
ain't
has no cohesion.
None whatsoever.
So to answer your question, I'm still on board. I'm still excited about Freaky Mike.
Freaky Mike.
I wish I could beat my chest and say we 3-0.
Yeah,
but I can't. But I'm holding hope. I'm holding hope.
Well, here's the thing, Jesse. We started 3-0 last year, and we saw what happened. It was a false kind of confidence, right? I said this after week 1. I'd almost rather this team go through adversity early on under this new regime so they can figure out what they need to fix, and then hopefully later in the year we have momentum. We fix it, we have momentum. Because a lot of times we saw it with the Ravens. You get a team that gets off to a ridiculous start, and they haven't faced adversity at all. And then they get in the playoffs, and what happened when they faced adversity? They didn't know how to adjust and got their asses whooped. So let's just hope that at this point right now, this is just the early season yips, and they're just trying to get things together. New coaching staff. You can't, like you said, you can't change the culture over Zoom. I love that. I love that because it's so true, and we still have a lot of people left over from the Jason Garrett era. Let's just be real.
And a lot of the guys that we have that we're depending on, that we're looking at, they were immersed. They were saturated. They were seasoned for years by Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
That don't just wash off in 7 weeks. That don't wash off over 40 Zoom calls. You know what I'm saying? So there still has to be, like, that's why I said there's still some residue. There's still some residue. You know, a lot of guys the coaches had here, they didn't get to really clear those guys out. And it, like, I don't know. There's you don't get a grace period when you're a Cowboy. The land doesn't give you, the world doesn't give you a grace period when you're the Dallas Cowboys. They expect, because you're so famous and you're so well known and you have the name and you have the fandom and the stardom and all that kind of stuff, people don't give you grace, right? They don't give you that grace to where, you know what, they are learning, they are still going. No, it's see, they're frauds, they're front runners, they don't they're the worst organization in the world, and Jerry doesn't allow to do this. You know, they don't give you any of that. And it's like if the Patriots started out slow with Cam Newton, right? It would always be like, give them a chance. You know, give them
give them first 4 games.
Right. And a part of that is people will give grace to those who have more recent prior success. See, the Cowboys aren't given that grace that they will actually be able to turn things around, because recently we haven't shown that we were able to turn things around. So and that's the residue that's still left over. People look at this team and go, well, they're going downhill. And because the last 10 years or however many years you want to use, for the most part, we've always said, oh, when this team begin to go down, they go down. And so no one wants to give that grace of, well, maybe they can turn it around. Maybe they can pick it up. Maybe they can, get this thing going in the right direction.
Well, let me ask you this, though, Jesse. You right-handed or left-handed?
I'm right-handed.
You're right-handed. So when you're on the court and somebody pressing you, people tend to fall back and play favor to their right hand if you're right-handed, right? I believe that this is what's going on with Kellen Moore when he calls the offense. Although we're number one in the offense as it relate to like stat wise, I believe that he falls in love with passing the rock, and that's why we're not running, or that's why we're not going into different, I guess, flows of plays when we get into the red zone, is because he goes back into what he knows what can win. And this is his second year being the offensive coordinator. And Mike McCarthy is looking at it like, hey, you was the number one offense last year. I'm going to give you a chance. I'm not going to call any other plays and make my imprint yet, because I want to see what you can do when the pressure's on you. Do you feel that that's going on with Kellen Moore right now?
No, I think Kellen's a little bit handcuffed because we can't run the football.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Like that offensive line that's not a good offensive line that we have right now.
Okay.
So it makes it difficult. But also, and I don't want to jump into the analytics bag, because I'm not that guy. I'm not smart enough to be that guy. But when you look at what this team is, and take nothing away from what Zeke is, like you have better options passing the ball. And that's not a bad thing. Like passing the ball on first down is not a bad thing. Passing the ball on second down is not a bad thing. Where it becomes bad is when they don't become completions. That's the thing, is that they got to become completions. But for Kellen Moore, play calling is rhythmic. You talk about basketball, right? When a player gets into that good groove, that basket gets real big. And I think this year they haven't been able to get into a groove. I'll give you a stat that I saw earlier today, and the Cowboys have 37 drives this year. 28 of their 37 drives I gotta pull a stat up, but 28 of their 37 drives are at their 25 yard. 9 out of the 35 are 13 yards or less.
Jeez.
They're having to drive every single time. Their average starting for the Cowboys is their 23-yard line.
I think, which is worse than last year, by the way.
Right. Like you do know if you do this and the ball goes out of the back of the end zone, they give it to you at the 25. So either they're below average on a touchback.
Is that Tony Pollard?
Well,
if you just let the ball go out the back of the end zone or down, you get it at the 25. So what you now have is where you have 37 drives that start in your territory. You don't have any drives starting out. We have one drive that starts in our opponent territory. One drive that we've gotten the ball in our opponent's territory. Everything else has to be 70, 75 yards, 80,
90,
right? 90, 99 yards that you got to drive the length of the field. And you got to be damn good as an offense, as a play caller, to come up with that many plays to consistently drive you. Because even if you think about this, if you average your starting offense average the 23-yard line, right? Your 23-yard line. If you get one first down, you're at the 33-yard line. Even if you punt, the average punt is 40 yards. Yeah. They get the ball on their 40. One first down there at midfield. 2 first downs, they damn near field goal range. Oh, yeah. Man, you see what I'm saying? So it's like you're not even flipping the field.
Wow.
You're not even giving a chance to flip the field, so that they got to now drive 80, 90 yards. They get the ball when they 25, 30 yards away from being in field goal range.
In my opinion, that is more to say about the defense than anything. I mean, this is we talked about the same exact thing last year, except for we're just worse. But you talked about it earlier, opening of the show, and Law, you made a few videos about the defense, specifically the safety woes. But the defense, look, I get it. It takes time. It takes cohesion, like we said. But I don't think there's a fan alive that thought the Cowboys would be getting scored 32 points per game on that defensive side of the ball and has one turnover. I'm not counting that pop-out touchback because we didn't get the ball. Yes, we got a touchback with the ball back, but we didn't create the turnover and got the ball on the midfield or what have you. We have one real turnover in 3 games. I don't know where that ranks us, but one real turnover. So my opinion, that's more to say about your defense when your offense is still putting up 40 and 31 points. Is the defense something, and I hate to switch it real hard here on you, but is the defense something that you can see can be fixed at some point this year, or are we in trouble in that back end? Because I'm really talking about the back end. I'm just going to be real with you, Jesse.
I got something to ask you too, Jesse. Go ahead with it.
So I'm always gonna believe this till the day that I die. And I'm a firm believer in this. Your front end and your back end are tied together.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you get no pressure up front, now now we had 2 blown coverages last week. That ain't got nothing to do with pressure. That got everything to do with intelligence. And I know you get ready to go.
Do a scheme.
And I know you get ready to go for that too. But when you get no pressure in the front end, it's tough to cover in the back end. And I'm not negating the blown coverages. You got to line up and know where to go. If you can cover 2, you know what cover 2 is since you've been in elementary school. That's cover 2. And you shouldn't be blowing those type of coverages.
Oh, we should be deep.
They're tied together. And we have not been able to get any pressure up front to make people have to change what they do. They're getting ready. They go through their reads. Guys are able to run into routes. I mean, and for the defense,
a cup of coffee.
Yeah, we have
all Uber Eats.
we don't honestly, like, if we have dogs on our defense, they've been neutered.
Randy Gregory, where are you?
They've been neutered.
Oh my goodness!
There's dogs
hate
on our
mail,
defense,
man.
They've been neutered.
Get that hate mail,
like
man.
That's just what it is. I told y'all before in the summertime about Leighton Vander Esch, right? I told y'all. I told
you did
about that. Jalen Smith. I told y'all about Jalen Smith. That joker's a liability. He's a liability all through the middle. So you're liable in the middle. And then I thought we would have something up front with Dontari. Of course, McCoy got hurt, but we're not getting any push. We're not getting any push in the middle. Tank is put the APB out. And I know it's not all about sacks.
Jesse, I need
18 million though. 18 million a year. It is about some sacks.
I need you to be creating some pressure. I need you to be creating some turnovers. I need you to be getting some. Again, you got to be a game wrecker.
So Jesse, if you Odell Beckham and if you Jarvis, are you doing like this weekend? Saying yes.
I'm going to Baker. Like, let me take. Look, come here. Look at this. Look at this. Like, I'm talking to Baker. I'm texting Baker. I'm looking at Baker. Like, listen, we can double move these jokers. We can set up. Stefanski, listen, put me on an island against Diggs, because he fights and he's probably, but he get beat a lot.
Mm-hmm. He ain't used to this. He ain't used to this.
A lot. And people want to say, well, he's really fighting real hard. Whatever. Whatever. He got
the coverage. Hey, Jesse, the coverage will show over the top help, but damn, by the time the receiver get to the top of the route, the over the coverage top help is not even there. So he's aggressive, but it just goes away. How is that possible?
Well, if I'm Jarvis Landry, if I'm Njoku, if I'm them jokers, I'm like, hey Baker, listen, man. Hey, they giving up 300 something yards passing, brother. Let's go. Let's get it. And
don't you, hey Jesse, but don't you feel better though? Let me ask you this though. Don't you feel better with Baker putting it in his hands, because it looks like Stefanski is saying, I want to take it out of his hands. He's only averaging 188 yards a passing game. Kareem Hunt, Chubb's averaging 17 carries a game. Kareem Hunt 13, and they're playing a lot of those 2 tight end sets. Don't you think that he's saying, you know what? We seen when they let you just throw the ball everywhere those first 2 years, and it ain't got us nowhere. And even when they played the Ravens, threw it 39 times, and what happened? They got blown out.
Whooped.
So I'm thinking that I know what you feel. I totally agree with you, but don't you think they're saying, hey, we need to just run the ball on these guys. Let's hit them with these play actions, because they play action like crazy. And you just mentioned Jalen Smith. You don't think you're right. Them tight ends is going to be like, hey, let's get Jalen near some one-on-one, because the passing rate against him is like 113 in the passing game. You know what I'm saying? So don't you think they're still going to stay with that kind of concept? Because in every game they played this year, they've done it. And when they put it on Baker, they lose.
How many years you been a Cowboy fan?
I know where this is going, Jesse. Go ahead.
I know where it's going, but go ahead. I do.
I was going to say same. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All my life, 40 some years.
All right, so Baker's 187 yards a game, right?
I already know. He's gonna come to Dallas and throw for 400.
Yeah,
I know.
I
know. I'm trying to be positive, dogs.
I know, but you've
Oh.
been a fan long enough.
I know.
Guys, all of a sudden,
They have record games.
They have record games. They come here, and all of a sudden, he's the most accurate passer, and you know what I'm saying. And it always happens that way. And you're like, oh man, they're not gonna pass the ball. He's only throwing the ball for 187 yards. Watch.
And Baker Mayfield throws for 505 teams.
I will say this about the Baker Mayfield thing. You absolutely want Baker Mayfield to beat you. However,
yes,
we saw Jeff Driscoll look good. We saw Mitchell Trubisky look good. So how much confidence do you really have? But unfortunately, going to this game, you can't sit here and say, you know what, we're going to play back, because there's two monsters in that backfield by the name of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, who are really the engines of that offense right now. And that's kind of going towards the Browns. I promise you we'll get there, but I kind of want to put a bow on the Seahawks if I can. I want to put a bow on the Seahawks game real quick. Okay. Because as a receiver, Jesse, and we listen, I'm not giving these dang safeties a pass. I'm going to bring this back. As a receiver, and you said, I know they have blown coverages, dog. They ain't just have blown coverages. These receivers had nobody around them, right? And it makes you wonder, well, why don't you go out and get a certain player? Well, why did you cut a Ha-Ha Clinton-Dix? What is the plan here? Are we as fans seeing this wrong, or are we right in that this safety play, in my opinion, is the biggest detriment on the defense? I know, Jesse, you believe the front seven, and I agree with you.
Right.
But unfortunately, the front seven is not playing up to that level. But you need your safeties to not blow the coverages that many times in 2 games.
I got you. Now I'm going to answer your question, but I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
Did you watch the Chiefs-Ravens game?
Yes.
Did you watch the Green Bay Saints game?
No, I didn't watch the whole game, but I had to go back and watch it because I have other things I do. But yes, I watched most of what I need to watch.
Did you see something that was familiar in both of those games?
Issues in the back end.
Okay. So we ain't the only ones.
No, we're not.
This is a passing league.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things as a coach, and I think sometimes people have to understand, is if we go and got Earl Thomas, like Earl Thomas isn't our long-term fix. Like Earl Thomas is a rental, right? So you go and get this rental, which for some reason, I don't know why no one else wants to hear this when I say this. Nobody else wants to touch Earl Thomas. Like, think about that for a second. Like, you watch the game, and there's a lot of teams who are giving up a lot of yards over the top, but no one. And I know that there's different reports. I like to believe what John McClain says out of Houston. Anything out of Houston, when John McClain says things out of Houston, I like to believe what John McClain has to say. Okay, he's been around.
What did he say?
Oh, it wasn't COVID related. That wasn't a good fit for them. That personality wasn't a fit for them. He and Bill O'Brien don't see eye to eye. So it ain't COVID.
A strong personality.
It ain't COVID. And I'm like, why is it if this guy is so superb and so excellent, why is it that nobody else wants him? Like, think about that for a second. Think about the fine chick that nobody want to holler at. But she's stacked. She got the flat hat and ta-da.
Pow.
But you like, who talked to her? Man, nobody. Why? I don't know. Yo, you hollered at her? Nah. Yo, my man, did you holler? Nah. Nobody want to talk to her?
But there's always that one that give him a call, Jesse.
But the dudes is going there and say, don't nobody holler. But there's that one dude like said, yeah, I hollered at her, and dog,
then he go there and find out.
You don't want to talk to her.
Oh, she's a psycho.
Yeah.
That's why. She burnt his house. She burnt her last boyfriend house down.
But Jesse, ain't those the good ones, the best ones? If you know what I'm talking
about. It feels good momentarily, and then she scratch your bins, right? Scratch your bins up, and she burn your house down. Now you looking at that for that little 25 minutes of pleasure, it wasn't worth the pain that she left behind. You know what I'm saying? What?
Well, what about her cousin Eric Reed?
Yeah, ain't about to say there ain't forget
about her cousin Eric Reed.
Other people.
What about that one?
Eric Reed. We know Eric Reed. We listen. We already got Don Terry Poe on the team.
Because it ain't because he can't play.
Right.
We know what that is. We already know what that is.
Cowboys. And it ain't because he can't play.
Mm-hmm. We already know what that is.
Let's leave it at that.
Mm-hmm. No, we know exactly what that is.
We already know. But the thing is this back end is an issue. But sometimes, coaches want to work with some of their guys. Like, let me continue to work with my guys and see if I can't turn this thing around for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And then if I can't, then we'll make a decision. Again, it goes back to when you're the Cowboys, everything is seen in a 10 times more magnitude. Mm-hmm. Nothing is seen in kind of regular lenses. It's always blown up. Like, it's always blown up way out of proportion because we're the Dallas Cowboys. And that's what this is here. Yes, the secondary play is not where we need it to be. It's bad. I'm not disputing that. But again, I go back to a coach sometimes wants to be able to put his touch on something. Let me work with these guys. Let me continue to grind with these guys and get in the lab with these guys and see if I can't turn this thing into what I want long term. Because Mike McCarthy's not going to be here just for 1 year. I hope not going to be here just for 1 year, right? So he's trying to build a legacy. I'm trying to build a team for the long haul, and that takes a little bit of time. It takes a little bit of effort. And you got to let these guys play, man. Every time we have a bad guy, we can't throw him to the curb. You know what I'm saying? And put a new guy in.
But Jesse, how many times you going to continue to take one for the team, if you know what I'm talking about? Darian Thompson, is he that guy that going to eventually say, okay, when are we going to find out whether or not he's the rental himself? Or are we going to say to ourselves and say, okay, it's just mentally, and eventually he will be able to cover the backside of the field, and that's just a mental error? Or is it just that's just his skill set? We just going to continue to take one for the team with Darian Thompson?
No, but I think 3 games is a little bit premature.
Okay.
I think 3 games is a little bit premature. Again, we forget that none of this stuff, none of the information was able to really be processed through an OTA, through a mini camp, through all of those repetitions. That is the only way you get better in this league. I don't know if I don't want to be the guy to be like, well, I played, y'all didn't play. That is
no. That's why you on here, so we can get that input.
Life, but especially in this league, you gotta get the reps, man. You gotta be able to see Russell Wilson 70 snaps. You gotta be able to go see a guy and be like, oh, when they +2 outside the numbers, that's what coach mean. You can't always just throw guys to the side when they don't work out initially, because if you don't get the reps and you're not in there and you're not able to make mistakes and then correct them. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be a 3-year process, but I'm saying, damn, we ain't even at least we ain't got to the quarter of the season yet. We got one more game till we get to the quarter.
and if we're being honest, in regards to the secondary, I know Jay Lou has struggled the last 2 games, but Jay Lou missed the first game. Woozier is out for a few weeks. Right. Anthony Brown's going for a minute. Let's just be real. Darian Thompson is a backup, but he's thrust into the safety spot because Clint Dix, for whatever reason, didn't work out. No McCoy. Crazy. So, yes, there has been issues among the defense that are beyond the talent. It's just injuries as well. But, again, as fans, like you said, right, as Cowboys fans at that, there just is no time, per se.
Cowboy fans are name whores, okay? Cowboy fans are name whores.
Hey, I'm guilty sometimes with that.
They want all pros and Hall of Famers at every position. That is not a realistic thing, man.
And on the backup positions too.
everywhere. Like you, who's available? Go get him. Go get him. You want everybody. We can't get everybody. Look across the league.
Eric Barrett, go get him.
But hold on. So for safety though, I feel Cowboys Nation because Jesse, it's been since 2003 since we've had consistent safety play. So every time a name comes out there at safety, I get it because we can't, for whatever reason, won't draft one.
Right.
We won't sign one long term. And we just keep going with these, regular guys, which salute to those guys, but they're not the future. They're not the staple of that position. So I get it at safety, but you're right. We do. It's like Laker fans. Let's just be real. Yeah. Anytime there's a free agent, we like, we can get Giannis. We can get KD. We can get, yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? There are some teams, if we're being honest, there are some teams that just prioritize things differently. Some teams is like, and the Cowboys are one that's like, you know what?
I need safety.
It ain't really that important to us.
We understand.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You're right. You know what I'm saying? You take a chance and you say, we're going to give this guy $18, $19 million. We hope that he can get to the quarterback. And, that because honestly, like, I do believe this about the Cowboys. Safety don't really sell jerseys, guys. Sorry. I mean,
it don't. You're right. It don't. And we know Jerry is all, we know he like that. We know he like that.
I want him to be able to sell tickets.
He paid a specific running back a lot of money, and I think a lot of that had to do with he lets Jerry eat.
Zeke.
You know what I mean? He's great running back, probably the best all around. But I mean, I'm just saying.
I just think the Cowboys they and you can go across the board and look at. I mean, look at the Packers.
Aaron Jones.
They don't prioritize a lot of different things.
Wide receiver, they don't prioritize them.
Wide receivers.
They still kill it.
For a long time, they didn't prioritize defense. They got better with it for a while. I mean, they gave one of the greatest quarterbacks in our time, Ty Montgomery, as his running back.
Right.
Let that process that for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Ty Montgomery for like a legit was like, we're gonna line up number 88 in the backfield, and this is gonna be who you play action pass and do all that kind of stuff too, and 38 leads and counters and all that. Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
This is the same guy you're saying. We got one of the best quarterbacks in the world, and the draft. Instead of us going to get a CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy or Jefferson.
Jefferson, yeah.
We're gonna go get another quarterback. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, huh?
Rogers had to take a drink after that happened.
Like, you wait.
He took two.
We're probably another offensive piece away from really being a really contender, and so certain teams just don't prioritize certain things, and again. That doesn't get talked about. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about that at all.
Well, let me ask you this then, Jesse. Back to the Cowboys on this type of topic then. Are you team like Jalen Smith saying that the defense is too complex, so we need to simplify it a little bit? Or you just think that this team needs to just learn the defense, go through your warts now, and then towards the latter part of the season, hopefully they can pick up the defense and roll with it from there? What side of the coin are you on?
I'm on don't be dumb as hell. I'm on that side. I'm on you got one job, okay? I'm on you get paid a ton of money to damage study. I'm on the side of what else you got to do besides watch film and get in your playbook. That's it. I don't want to hear it's complicated from a
He always got an excuse though, real talk.
I'm good on that. Like I'm good on that. I'm so good. I'm so good when folks tell me, now, if you're a rookie, cool. I'm gonna cut you some slack. I get it. I've been there. Things come at you fast. Things are a little bit more different than maybe you were used to. When you've been here for 5 years in this league, your keys are your keys.
Yeah.
That don't change. So when you tell me, it's a little bit too complicated, that tells me one or two things. And I don't like to attack people's intelligence.
Give it to us, man. Give it to us.
Tell me one or two things. Either you dumb as hell, or you too busy selling too many frames. Eyeglass frames.
I was about to say swiping and all this other ish.
But Jesse,
Jesse,
I'm a go with the first thing you said. I don't know if he is really has a strong football IQ, because think about it, when he was at Notre Dame, he had them two good legs, and he was a different type of player. You get what I'm saying? And he didn't have to do all that. Then he got the injury, and he had to learn and the other parts of the game, because he's not that guy anymore athletically, because he's on one leg. And we're seeing when they put that on him, he is always, not always, but it seems like he's always falling short of that. And then when he's the first one to come on the interview and say,
I just
well,
need
this has to happen. Huh?
I need you to be going in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? Like one of the things, like he reminds me of Bruce Carter.
Ooh.
Okay. Ooh.
Shoot, honestly, fam, Jesse, I mean, you know Bruce because you played with Bruce, but
Bruce played with me. I'm older.
See, he sound like a big brother. No.
Here's the advice. So Bruce was at North Carolina and then at the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And I told Bruce, I said,
I think he's better than Jalen.
I said, whatever you do, don't leave Sean Lee's side. If Sean Lee farts,
better smell it.
You should be able to tell me if he had tuna, roast beef, or lasagna. Because here's where this happens a lot. This happens a lot.
Mm-hmm.
This is, a la Des Bryant as well. When guys are supremely gifted,
they don't
say it. Speak it.
And they have Liam Nielsen, a particular set of skills. They tend to rely on those particular set of skills and athleticism over the knowledge of the game. What they come to realize is you're dealing with other people who have a particular set of skills that are very good at what they do. And so if you can't couple your very particular set of skills with a particular set of knowledge, you're always going to be a step behind. That is the game of football. When you get to this level, okay, everybody's been the best of the SEC or the ACC or the Pac-12 or the Big 10 or the Big 12 or the SWAC or the Sun Belt or whatever they were at. They were the best at it. So now you're dealing with the best of the best of the best. And even your guys who are average were the best, right? Then you have your guys who are really good, who are the bestest. And then you have your greats, your future Hall of Famers, right? They were just better than everyone else. So what separates those things?
Buddy.
It's the neck up. This is it. Because if we all can run and we all can jump and we all are strong, what makes those who are just run-of-the-mill guys and what makes those who are Hall of Famers? Yes, someone has to do with talent and opportunity, but it's this. And a guy like Jalen's been afforded every opportunity to succeed. And yet and still he comes up short. What is this, year 5?
Yes, year
2016,
5,
right? yeah.
Year 4, year 5, whatever it is.
Going into year 5, yeah.
Yeah, so to me, a player like that in sort of the same system with the same kind of keys you got moved because you couldn't do that. Oh, dude, there's nothing else. Like we all do different things, right? Because that's what we have to do to supply and to provide for our family. So we got a job over here, got a job over there, got a job over here, and we still no, when I played football, that's all I had to do.
I was disappointed when Jalen came out and said that, and then I think Alden was annoyed because they asked him the question about it. He was like, "Man, this ain't difficult. This isn't some crazy scheme where it's hard."
You know why?
Oh yeah, I don't know why. Go ahead.
Yeah. Alden was in a goddamn warehouse packing boxes.
Preach.
Okay. When I was working security in Durham, North Carolina, I was out of the league, and they said, "Hey, when you come back in, here's what you got to do. You got to run down there and run to those big 300-pound dudes in that wedge. Point them out, because that's difficult. That's difficult to, and nothing against the people who work in warehouses. I salute you. We need people to do all these jobs in America to make America run. I'm not slighting those people. But for all the Smith is saying, I got another opportunity to play football instead of packing boxes. Oh no, I'm on this. This ain't hard. This ain't no. What's hard is getting paid $17 an hour to work a 10-hour, 12-hour shift at a warehouse.
And you know how ironic that is, right? Right. He's the one that came out and said, "No, man, this isn't as difficult as whatever y'all hearing." And guess who our best defender is on this damn defense? A man who hasn't played in 5 years, who is hungry as ever. And guess who we asking to see more from? Some of the guys that have already been fed.
Been fed. Let me ask you this, though. You keep mentioning keys, and keys is always important for a game, especially as a linebacker. I don't know whether or not you can recall this, but I know Scott can elaborate on it. It was 4th and 3. If we stop Russell Wilson on that play, we win the game. Did you know that who's supposed to be assigned to Greg Olsen on that play? Can you recall that play, Jesse?
I can't.
I got confirmation. I got confirmation from someone on this that the defensive coordinators asked this question. It was Joe Thomas. They were matching the patterns on that play, and Jalen ran to the right spot. It wasn't Jalen. I know. Okay, shout out to Okoye who made the great breakdown. It wasn't Jalen. It was Joe Thomas. But that's part of the confusion that you can't have on the defense. That's part of the mental lapses that we talked about, be it secondary or front seven, that you can't have on the 4th and 3. And Jesse, I'm going to make a hard turn here real quick and wrap up this game here, but I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to start a little fire, but I don't want to start a inferno. But on the possession before that, certain quarterback, a certain offense, drove down the field, got your team a lead, 31-30. Your defense makes a stop. Game's over. They don't make the stop. They give up another touchdown. That same quarterback, Dak Prescott, comes down, gets heavy pressure, gets sacked, twirls around the second pass, throws an interception. And this game is being blamed on Dak Prescott. I know you've had your words on Dak, and let's be real about Dak here. Tell me, how you feel about him coming out of this game. There's a lot of people that are back on, which is weird because the week before they love Dak. The next week it's Dak can't get it done. So how are we feeling about Dak? And then we'll move on to the Browns game.
I love him.
Yeah, give context to this whole situation because I know that's where you're going.
Here's the thing: is you put so much on his plate that he has to be perfect. Think about perfect. Can't have a blemish. And that's a tough road to toe. Now he made some mistakes, and that happens. Again, there's no grace shown when you're a Cowboys quarterback. But I think Dak is playing outstanding football. I think this is the Dak that we've been kind of wanting to see him take that next step and really command this offense. This is also a quarterback who is under duress a lot. This is a quarterback who is, he's dealing. He went toe to toe with Russell.
Yeah. That's not being talked about.
He went toe to toe. And everybody's saying Russell Wilson is, your front runner for MVP right now. He went toe to toe with Russell Wilson. Like I said, he had the costly turnovers. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that there is zero room for error for him. And as a player, what goes through his mind is sometimes you're pressing, because in the back of your mind he knows, man, if we don't go down and score right here, I know my defense ain't gonna be able to stop nobody. Now he'll never come out and say that. He'll never say that, but he's thinking it.
You can see it when he's trying to shovel past the ball on a sack and he fumbles a rock or something like that.
We gotta make a play, because if we punt, the likelihood of the other team going down and getting some points is high. And again, it goes back to how we even started this conversation at the beginning of the show. You're asking him to drive 75, 80, 90,
and he's doing
99 yards damn near every time. Cut me some slack, fellas. Give me a short field. Allow me to have to not have to keep driving this thing 8, 9, 10 plays at a time. That is a lot. And what people sometimes do is that we have this, our eyes begin to roam, and we want to see, Patrick Mahomes is doing Patrick Mahomes stuff.
He ain't got any.
Let's stop. We're not going to put people in the Patrick Mahomes category. Just Patrick Mahomes is in a category by itself.
Mhm.
Right.
If you compare your quarterback to Patrick Mahomes, you're gonna keep coming up disappointed.
Disappointed.
He's just not. No one's not that. No, name a quarterback. He's not that. The closest maybe Aaron Rodgers, but that's it. Nobody's that guy. So stop comparing your quarterback to that guy, and understand what he's actually having to deal with. I've come complete. And
Say that again. Say that again.
Here, I've come a complete 180 on Dak Prescott, the quarterback. Like I'm a fan of his. I'm sold at what he's able to do and what he has to do for this team to be successful, and he's been doing it with little to no help on the defense side of the ball.
Hey, some people said, tell Emmanuel Ocho that. They say you know him, so tell him that, you know.
What is Ocho talking about? What he's saying? He's saying that Dak's not good?
Basically.
No, he said in
Ocho's a Philly fan, so you can't
right.
Okay, I didn't know.
He said he's not blaming Dak for the loss, but he's blaming Dak for not winning, which is his. You know he is. He's very clever. He's smart.
Wait a minute. How you put that?
That's what he said.
You gotta understand Manny and Manny's core. He's a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Yeah.
So he's.
But here's the context that I don't think ever gets put together for what's happening in this first 3 weeks of the season. You're down to your tackle 5 and 6, essentially, at times. Mm-hmm. You have a running game now, which is not really Zeke's fault, but the offensive line, who's averaging less than 4 yards per carry, and in last week's game, I believe he averaged less than 3 yards per carry. Mm-hmm. You have an offense of coordinator who's still trying to figure it out or what have you, but let's not even go there because Dak is still dealing it. But I agree. The things that is put on his plate, I don't think is put on any other quarterback in the league in regards to the pressure that he's put. He can't make a mistake. Not only from the media, but literally. If he makes a mistake, the odds of the defense making a stop, giving up some type of points, is slim to none. So he has to go out there and deal it. He dropped back over 100 times in 2 games. Yeah. I repeat, he dropped back over 100 times in 2 games. And yes,
47 and 57 attempts.
That's nuts.
Wow.
And yes, he turned the ball over, guys. That's usually what happens
when
you have your tackle 4, 5, and 6, a backup center who's not playing well, and a running game that's not giving any aid. That's what's usually going to happen. These aren't, I hate to use this term, these aren't excuses. These are reasons to why your team cannot overcome the other opponent's offense. Because we're scoring over 30 points a game.
Everything that you just named, and they've been in every game. They've been within one possession.
Could easily be 3-0 for real. Let's keep it real.
No one would literally be talking about Dak Prescott if you stop the opponent on 4th and 3.
You're saying what a great game he brought us back. But hey, Jesse, I want to ask you about this offensive line. I want to ask you specific questions. You know, Tyron Smith, just give me a gauge. Like Tyron Smith with his neck, I've been, we still talking about his injury. La'el Collins, they won't say anything about, what's going on. Is he going to be out for the whole season? Like Sky brought up Joe Looney. I want to see Biadasz. We can't even see Connor McGovern sniff the field at all. Terrence still keeps getting these sponsors for I don't know. And I just want to say, Brandon Knight, I ain't say he was sweet, Jesse, but I said he was serviceable.
Yeah.
I'm saying, James, I'm talking about. I'm surprised, James.
I was late.
James.
I got in his inbox.
I gotta give you credit.
I got in his inbox
because you should have came at him at the beginning of this show about that.
I let it.
You let it fester a little bit.
I let it marinate. Just a little bit. I just let it marinate.
I ignored it though, but he came.
I know he did. I went there inbox. Hey, asked me. I said, yeah, he know though.
I read it. I was like, I'm not answering this. But one, we've been spoiled.
Yeah.
We've been spoiled. We have been a spoiled bunch. We have been a spoiled bunch. Not too many teams in NFL history gets a chance to have 3, 4 all Pro Bowlers and 3 All Pros in the offensive line.
Constantly.
We've been spoiled.
Yeah.
We've been spoiled. And that is coming to an end. The run is coming to an end. Tyron is breaking down. That's just what it is.
Facts.
He has put in a lot of time, a lot of snaps, great service. The body can only hold up for so long, fellas. That body can only hold up for so long. I don't care how well you maintain it. You 300 plus pounds, and 280, 90, 300 plus pound jokers is running up on you. Think about this. Tackles don't get a break. It ain't like, every now and again, a DB be like, man, I ain't throwing the ball down. I ain't tackling. I ain't done nothing. Or receiver be like, tackles don't get breaks. Offensive linemen don't get breaks. Mm-hmm. So you got Tyron breaking down. Like, that's just factual. He is breaking down, and they need to invest in a tackle very soon. Like, very soon. Because he ain't got much left in him, if any. Mm-hmm. If it ain't the neck, it's the knee. And now, and the thing is, to me, this ain't a stinger, fellas.
You're right.
Can't be.
Stinger.
It can't be.
This ain't a stinger, man. It's something deeper than just a stinger. Nah, there's something deeper than that. It's the neck, it's the elbow, it's the back, it's my knee bone connected to my thigh. I don't know, it's everything. Mm-hmm. So that tells you that his body is just breaking down. He's giving the game all he can give, and the body is saying, we can't give anymore. We just can't take anymore. And you're seeing the results of great years of service just being broken down. On the Lyle situation is, don't be surprised and do not be shocked if Lyle does not play another snap this season.
Oh yeah, that's what seems to be. Yeah, the nose in the nose seem to figure will happen.
Yes, and let me ask you this then with Lyle. Mm-hmm. Now, it's two stories. First story was he was out of shape. Then it was reported like he got into a car wreck. And then it was saying that he had minor injuries, no major injuries. Then it was reported that, hey, right before the season kicked off, 3 days before the season kicked off, we're going to put him on IR because of his undisclosed injury. Now we find out that it's actually the hips. What is actually going on? Was this hip issue was before the car wreck, or was he out of shape and then he got into the car wreck and now they kind of putting all these things together? What is your opinion? And I know it could be a strong one, but what is your opinion on good old Lyle?
I think it's all of the above. One of the things that you have to realize when you talk about we went to this pandemic, everybody's not motivated to work out. They just aren't. Okay. People just aren't motivated to work out. And I'll be honest with you, the fatter you are, the less motivated you are. Because you already don't got a sexy body. You already want to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like guys who got a sexy body, that's kind of their identity. I gotta get my abs, I gotta get my curls in. You know what I'm saying? Right. You want to maintain that. But if you already a big hog, you like, man, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going out there. It's too hot.
And I just got my check.
And I just got my contract. I'm good. I'm good. They ain't cutting me.
It's like, the boys might call me up like, yo, come work out. I might go shoot over there 1 day a week, 2 days a week. But for the most part, I'm on this game. I'm on this Fortnite. I'm on this Call of Duty, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'm chilling. I'm kicking back some brews. I got my little shorty with me. You know what I'm saying?
That COVID hurt him.
Right. Then you have the accident. Okay. Right. You don't have access to the facilities to really come in and rehab anything. And that was the case. So you think, I could just chill and then and most guys use that training camp period to work themselves back in shape.
True.
And when you 300 pounds, man, those joints got to hold that weight up. And when you haven't prepared them to get ready to hold that weight up again through workouts and, preparation throughout OTAs, mini camps and all that kind of stuff, where you're kind of required to be in the building and required to work out the voluntary part of it, you face this. And now the whole IR thing was let's keep rehabbing. Let's see if we have anything change in the rehab. And then let's keep rehabbing a little bit more in hopes that maybe we can get you for the last 7-8 games of the season. But if there's no progress, it's going to be he needs hip surgery. And like backs, last thing you want for a dude who's 300 plus pounds is a bad hip.
Hips, man.
But if you do it, let's not be like the Cowboys. They always do and wait till the end of the daggone year and say, oh, let's go ahead and do the surgery. If you see it and they do it, then go ahead and do it and let's go ahead and move on, because why keep on delaying like other players they do? They wait and wait and wait, and then they take forever to rehab, and then they come into camp late because they took too long for the surgery. Why? If y'all already feel like you're thinking that, just get it done.
Because as players, you kind of think like, man, you know what? I just need a couple more weeks. You know what I'm saying? As a player, you're still,
trying. Yeah, I get it.
I'm still trying to, because I want to. Does Lyle want to be out there with his guys? I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does. Like I'm sure he's like, man, I want to be out there with my guys. I want to play football. But it's always, well, if you really wanted to play football,
Why'd you do this?
but that's a whole nother show, an episode. But yeah, so I think he wants to be out there. So you like, hold on, let's hold off. And some guys don't want to go under the knife because once you go under the knife, you're never technically better. You just they just seal it up so you can last a little bit longer. But that doesn't make you better. No one's ever had hip surgery and become better. It's just you just maintain unless you got a whole hip replacement. But
yeah, we could be going back down a path where we have to rebuild this offensive line because and James can attest to this.
It's not. You said it like it was a question. You're gonna have to rebuild this up. Gav's not walking back through the door. Tyron's not getting 5 years of youthfulness back. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't happening. Like Connor Williams just
that's a whole different.
He gets thrown out of the club every time I see him.
The amount of grass stains on his butt. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
He never was a guard, but that's neither here nor there.
Hey, what do you think Myles Garrett is thinking now? Myles Garrett looking at it like,
that's the tackles. But this is where I'm saying, and where you can attest, and James can attest. I've been on this. I'm riding Tyron till the wheels fall off. Well, fellas, the wheels is starting to fall off. So there it is. The wheels are off. But hey, I told you, I'm falling. I'm riding till the wheels fall off. The wheels are starting to fall off.
They falling off.
But where I didn't think the wheels would be falling off was Lyle Collins.
I think Lyle will be able to return. I think he'll.
But the hip is scary.
No, I ain't saying he's gonna have a 10-year career.
How Crawford is doing right now with those two hips? How's Crawford doing?
Not well.
But he got lighter too, though, Jesse. I think he built his body like he was a defensive end because he doesn't look like stout like he was. I mean, when you see him now, he just getting pushed around. Like before, he used to hold that middle when he played that 3-tech. Now, when I was watching him, they be pushing him on his back, two people sitting on top of him, laying on him. I'm like, damn, Crawford, what happened, big dog? You getting laid on. Like, you ain't getting pushed, they laying on you.
Never that dude.
He should have been playing there anyway. He should have been outside where he should have been.
But, on the team.
He's an average DM making $9 million a year.
All right, look, that's
crazy.
We got people way here with this Dak stuff. We got the Browns this week, Jesse, and when you hear Browns, like historically, you think these dudes ain't not. But technically, the Browns are 2-1, the best start since I think like 2000. I don't know, y'all 6 or something. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since they started off 2-1, which is wild. It's only 2-1, but I've been saying this since the end of the game in Seattle. The Browns have the personnel to give Dallas trouble. Specifically talking on the offensive side of the ball where they have those weapons, they have that running game, and no one seems to be talking about their offensive line, but they got 3, in my opinion, playing right now, Pro Bowl type of interior offensive linemen, which is helping fuel that run game. I'm worried, Jesse.
As you should be.
I'm worried. I mean, not in the sense that I don't think we can't win. I'm just saying, like, this one's going to be another game where Dallas Cowboys fans get ready to get some gray hairs.
This is going to be a dogfight. And honestly, it doesn't even, like, to me, it starts with what you talked about earlier. Mm-hmm. Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. Like, they pulled up LA Rams film for a couple years ago. Trust me, they watched that film. And they're going to try to come. Like, you know what our best hope is? Our best hope is that Baker wakes up dangerous.
That's what I want.
That's our best hope.
That's what I want. Feeling dangerous. I want to win this. I want to win this game. That's what I want.
Yeah.
That's what I'm back close to Oklahoma, and I'm gonna have some people there come from Oklahoma.
I'm gonna try to show out.
Our best hope is that Baker wakes up and he feels dangerous and tries to do things on his own.
He's erratic.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. We cannot stop their running game.
It's hard to argue.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. They're gonna run the ball at will at us.
Well, Jesse, if that's the case, because my opinion, the game plan needs to be to stop them, to stop the run, and make Baker beat you. And because I think Baker's so erratic, even when he's not pressured, he's just not a consistent quarterback.
He's smart. You're not a smart quarterback.
No. And like you said, James, you alluded to it very well earlier. They don't even want him throwing the ball that much. When he did throw the ball, he got abused. They got abused like 30-something to 6 or something like that in Cleveland.
And this is the part that's going to come back and haunt us, right? Because they're gonna run the ball at a high clip, and then what's going to happen? Our safeties
are going to play action, and they're going to get sucked up in. He's going to hit OBJ deep, and there it is.
and when you get the ball in their tight ends' hands and their receivers' hands, they can make plays. They don't always have to be a deep ball. They can catch it intermediate and make you miss.
That damn Jarvis Landry. That's what I'm worried about.
And they better not put Brandon Carr on Odell Beckham. I don't want to see it. I just don't want to see it.
but so what?
And then on top of that, Odell they do allow him to push off too, because I've seen him push off and they don't.
Oh, let's not talk about the refs, because
I'm telling you, Jarvis Landry more than Odell. I know Odell, but Jarvis Landry, he's that guy, because you know how we had the Tyler Lockett. He's that guy that makes them critical catches.
He's a possession receiver.
He makes those critical catches, and to me, he make the back breaking. Like when we need a third down and get out, he's the back breaking guy.
That's the guy. Like, God damn it, nobody's good.
It's him.
He's that guy. That's that. You're absolutely right. That is it right there. Like, he's the guy. You like, all right, come on, fellas. Let's go. 3rd and 9. We get this stop. We win it.
Jarvis Landry for the game. Jarvis Landry for the game.
That was literally me on 4th and 3. I'm like, we make this stop. We win the game. Greg Olsen, first down.
Greg Olsen, the guy who's been around for 47 years. Yeah.
Really? Yeah. And all he did was just sit there?
He slid.
Well, what about, is there any, so obviously you don't have that much confidence in him, but statistically speaking, and watching the games, they have been better against the run the last 2 weeks. Now, they're not going up against these running backs, but Chris Carson's no easy task. Played them well.
Chris Carson ain't wrong.
Yeah, I mean, so maybe the run defense. Look,
come on, man, give us some hope on that, dog.
We're not gonna stop the run.
How we win? How do we
win?
How do we win? Besides Baker feeling dangerous, what we got to do on offense?
What we got to do?
Number 4 has to be perfect again.
Shit.
And see, that's not good. Right, man.
That don't feel good.
No,
we can't feed Zeke. We can't run on their defense, because listen, before you say anything, Jesse, don't you think the Browns are? This is my hope, is that the Browns are the talented underachieving. I know they're 2-1, but if you looked at their games against Cincinnati and Washington,
where are the Browns?
Washington, I'm not. Haskins is not a good quarterback right now.
God,
he kept them in that game by throwing those picks, because they were moving the ball on that defense. They had the lead twice against them, 2017, going in that 4th quarter, but Haskins was making bad mistakes. So teams were moving the ball up on them. I think the Browns, to me, are a very talented team, but I still feel like they underachieve, and I feel like we should be able to lean on that, because I feel like they do underachieve in aspects with all that talent.
That sounds. Are you talking about the Cowboys or the Browns?
I'm talking about the Browns.
I mean, but
that's what I'm saying. I said that in the video. It's just like us, a talented team but underachieved. That's what I think the Browns are.
Mirror images.
That's what our chance. Yeah, we're mirror images. I think that's where our chance is at.
So
that's a good point.
They have to be perfect again.
Yeah, pretty much.
You have to come out and be perfect again, because if you're saying that they are underachieving defensively and we're underachieving defensively, then it comes down to number 4 having to be perfect again.
Number 4.
You don't think Zeke can get his yards?
I like what they have up front. I do. I like what the Browns have up front. They got some pressure up front. They got some dogs up front. And Myles Garrett.
Here you go.
He's coming.
Adrian Claiborne. Remember him?
Oh my God.
Oh, he's out there.
Hey, look. Adrian Claiborne look. He might be playing against a backup again. Last time he played the Dallas Cowboys against a backup
I seen Claiborne, I said, oh, gosh.
With Dak Prescott.
They're going to move Myles Garrett up and down that line.
Oh, hell yeah.
They're going to find the matchups.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to find the matchup, and they're going to let him use his strength and his quickness. And the thing about Myles Garrett, like, he understands not just get the sack, get the fumble.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he coming for the fumble.
Yeah, he is.
He coming for the strip.
Yep.
Like, he wants to be a game wrecker. And Sheldon Richardson has found new life.
Yep. Oh, Sheldon got 2 sacks.
I wanted him in Cleveland. So the way we win this football game, we're not going to be able to stop them. Let's be honest. Like, we're not going to be able to stop them from running the ball. We're not. I'm willing to bet money that they'll rush for over 150 yards.
Come
Like with
on.
those two backs.
That's defeating. That's demoralizing.
Well, I'll tell you something right now. If they rush for $150,
it's gonna be real. It's gonna be a blowout.
I wouldn't go there. I still think I think Dallas will score. Here's a thing I want you to kind of chew on a little bit, Jesse. It seems sometimes the Cowboys are extremely inconsistent when we cross that 30, and cross that 40, and I had tweeted, why not use Dak's legs more? And I don't necessarily mean have him run like Lamar Jackson, but move the pocket. You got a inefficient offensive line right now. Let's just be real. Why not move the pocket a little bit more? Because that puts pressure on the defense to say, okay, if I commit to him moving, I'm leaving some space behind me. If I don't commit to him moving, Dak can rattle off a 20, 30-yarder. So one of my solutions when we cross the 40 for this inconsistency is to use Dak more as a mobile quarterback. I hate the fact that he came out of Mississippi State as one of the best rushing quarterbacks we've ever seen. Now, not like in the Mike Vick way, but statistically, the dude had a ridiculous amount of touchdowns, big runs, a lot of yards. And then by year 2 or 3, it's like he's not running anymore. You got to use his strength. So why not use him when you cross the 50, when you get close to that red zone, use his legs a little bit more, and maybe you score a touchdown instead of a field goal against the Seahawks?
Yeah, I don't know why they don't use and move the pocket with him much more. I'm not a fan of like design runs.
Yeah, don't need to be a run.
For me, like I'm thinking like 3 runs a game, like design. Maybe if you did 3 design runs per game for Dak, that's good to me. More than that, I get into that category where big guy doesn't always slide. You saw what happened to his shoulder last year.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. I just don't like that. But I agree with you that they need to get him on the edge, move the pocket, and to do things like that just to give teams different looks.
Yeah.
And it helps your offensive linemen out. It gives them an opportunity to get on some blocks. You can chip some guys in the end. I hope that they subscribe to that soon. I do. I really do. But prior to Mike McCarthy getting here and Kellen Moore, Jason wasn't that guy. Like he wasn't the guy that was going to go back and say, well, what did you do at Mississippi State that will work here? It was more so, fit into my system, not my system fit to you.
After year 1, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. We do what we do best, right? Yep. So Jesse, let me ask you this though. There's another guy on this team, and I know our front 5, the offensive line just been porous, but there's another guy that touches the ball. His name is Tony Pollard. Is he going to be any part of this offense coming to the future, or is just that he's pressing too much and he's just null and void at this point?
Jerry wanted Clyde.
Where? Where?
I think he's in the doghouse.
No, there's no room for him.
No, okay, it's just non-existent.
Where? Like people say, oh, we got a lot of ball. Where? Right? It's like you can't take Zeke off the field because you need him. Tony Pollard, with the way this offensive line has been holding up, Tony Pollard would get obliterated trying to pick up a blitz. He can't. And his offensive line isn't good enough to not have somebody back there to pick up a blitz. So even on passing downs, you got to leave 21 in there because he can pick up a blitz and keep your quarterback upright.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's probably why he's not in.
Brilliant point. Damn, that's a good point.
Ass handed to him. But one of them linebackers coming through, he ain't big enough. So even on your passing downs where you might want to get the ball in his hands on some of those little shifty routes, sometimes you got to leave him in there. You can't put him in there because you need Zeke in there to help out with the blocking assignments. And then now you're trying to get a run game going. I'm trying to get 21 going. Well, 21 will never be able to get going if you got to go sub in and out with this guy. And then you get into these games where now you look up and you say, oh, we're down, or we turn the ball over, or we, So now we got to pick the pace up. And now I'm in 3 wide receivers. I'm in 4 wide receiver sets. This is why Tony Pollard returns kicks. They're just trying to get him the ball any way possible to kind of keep him in some rhythm because there's nowhere for him to play.
But see,
it's a tough deal because you have a back in Zeke who's literally an every down back.
Yeah, but see, Zeke got some making up to do. My man dropped 3 balls last week, and it seemed like that, right? And I said it since last year. He's not, as much as everyone wants to say he could be a receiving back. He's really not a natural receiving back. He fights.
They paying Zeke
$15 million.
What you call him?
He ain't coming off the field.
Oh, okay. Oh, the money keeping him on there.
He might be right, and that goes a whole different
I'm
story.
gonna pay him $15 million and say, hey, no, you come here. Yeah, Tony, you go ahead in there. You give
And
it a
that's
try.
the problem. See, that's a problem, man. That's a
I
problem.
know that big money, so
That's a
So
problem.
do you reverse this thing, Jesse, and just go back with 12 personnel looks, or you just try to still roll out the 11 and 10 personnel that we've been running?
With the number 17 pick, you selected a wide receiver. You gonna put him on the sideline now? This is the dilemma that they face.
Well, we got napkins as the protection for Dak Prescott, right? So I don't think that 17 is doing a hell of a job of blocking, right?
Hey, 4. You want $40 million? Make it work.
Come on.
That's what Jerry ended up telling them to do.
Hey, let me ask you this though too.
Make it work.
But guess what? We see what Deshaun Watson, what he's doing down there in Texans. He's 0-3 right now. He don't have a primary wide receiver. So
he getting killed too.
He getting killed, my brother.
He getting killed on that offensive line.
So he looked like Dak Prescott in 2018 Dak Prescott, right? With no primary wide receiver. So they need to look at this thing and say, okay,
real quick,
we need
Jesse,
weapons.
As a guy who fought to get on the roster and just your story alone, I mean, if you don't know, I mean, dude, guys, just go look it up. How happy are you for a guy like Cedric Wilson last week, who we had said on the show, man?
Good,
and honestly, fam,
there.
yeah, I couldn't be more ecstatic for Ced because the injuries and things like that. He was a sixth round pick. Just couldn't get anything going, and then he has a career day, man. Like how awesome is that to see as a guy who fought to get on this roster, man?
That's amazing, man. And the feeling that he feels, you can't even describe. And I was so happy for him because I know what that's like when you just battle and you get that moment. You like, see, I really can do this if y'all give me a chance. You know what I'm saying? But he's another one who's in a tough spot. He's in a tough spot because every time it's either he gets injured or it's where do we play him? How do we get him some reps? And that's another, like, unless you go to full wide receivers or somebody gets hurt, how do you get him on the field? Because Michael Gallup is balling.
Mm-hmm.
Amari's one of the best route runners in the league. And you spent the 17th pick on CeeDee Lamb, who is doing a hell of a job. So now, maybe you feel some kind of way about Dalton Schultz maybe not being the best route runner because he's not.
And he dropped balls.
And maybe you add him in there, but but that's it. It's just a lot of time for these guys. The way that this roster is constructed, and that's how Cowboys have been for a long time, they've been so top heavy.
There you go. I knew that was coming. Yep.
They've been so top heavy that the younger guys and the other guys don't get a chance to really develop or get playing time because, like I said, oh my God. But like even like Tony Pollard. Do I think Tony Pollard could be an asset to this team? I do. But they're paying that guy $15 million in front of him. Mm-hmm. Like, how do you justify? Like, how do you go into a meeting and go, wait, so Tony Pollard got 20 carries and Zeke got 20 carries?
Well, no.
Or why wasn't he going to fill in this play right here? We giving him $15 million. You find a way to put him on the field. And we make, Tony is making pennies compared to what Zeke is making. And that matters. Like, as much as we want to sit here and think it doesn't matter, there's no way that you pay a guy $15 million a year and you're trying to find a guy to replace him.
But Jesse, I thought for sure now I do know that we won the Atlanta Falcons game and they didn't count it as a fumble. But if Tony Pollard never fumbled that ball, I think the perception would have been different that game and they would have continued with the 1-2 punch. You remember how the opening drive was, right? With Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott. But I just think that he's in the doghouse because he keep putting the ball on the ground.
Then why don't he go in the doghouse? He put the ball on the ground twice in that game.
Yeah.
Because he's getting paid $15 million a year.
There you go.
that fit in, right? That fit in.
Gander, right?
Right.
Yeah.
He fumbled more than Tony Pollard did. They ain't put him on the bench.
It's so funny because Zeke is an amazing back, but when the games where I feel like an offensive line is struggling to open up lanes in the run game, I feel like, well, maybe if you get a back some opportunities that can get some wiggle, to make people miss, because Tony can do that. He was one of the best in the league last year. Why not do it? But then it comes right back around, as Boomer used to say, circle the wagons. Well, this guy's getting paid $15 million. And James says it a lot during the game stream. He's like, man, I feel like they only getting the ball right now because they paying him $15 million a year. And it's like, how do you argue it? Because we're down what? 15, whatever points in the fourth quarter or whatever it is, right? And you're running the ball. Why? Because he's getting paid $15 million.
He ain't coming off the field, fellas.
He ain't coming off the field. Yeah, which, I'm not saying he needs to come off the field, but Tony, I think he has a particular set of skills that could help you at times. But I do feel like he's in the doghouse. He has not been good on special teams.
He's pressing, though, I feel like, too, because he's not getting on the field. I mean, you can attest to that. I didn't mean to cut you off, Sky.
It's a young, but I feel like that's him being young.
Yeah,
somebody to get in his ears.
He's not seeing the field. You don't think he wants to play? You don't think he feels like he has a skill set that wants to get on the field? So he's looking at, my opportunities are very limited. I'm not going to see the ball no other time, and I'm probably not going to see the field. So when they kick that ball off and I have any opportunity, I'm going to try it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's spot on. That's spot on. And a lot of young guys do that. They press because they're thinking, man, my opportunities are few and far between. So maybe if I make a flash play right now,
I can get on the field.
Excited about me, and I'm like, oh, let's get us. But sometimes it doesn't always work out in the favor.
He can flash all he want. I just come on. He could be me off. He could be the Flash.
When Jerry mentioned, hey, we was looking at Clyde in the draft, and I was like, wow,
that was weird.
Wow, yeah,
I said, really, bro? You really
yeah.
said that?
That was
weird.
That
was weird as hell.
He said if Clyde Hilaire-Edwards fell in the second round, they was something they was hoping to consider. Jerry, just I love you, Jerry. But see, Jesse, I saw your tweet earlier this week. You're still getting, you still, you know what I mean? Them checks coming through. So you ain't gonna say nothing stupid. So we just gonna talk about Jerry. You don't say nothing over there. We gonna talk about Jerry.
Blue Star Sports still cuts me checks.
Okay, so we just go let's do with the Jerry stuff. Jerry,
yeah, how you feel about Noah Brown? Then? you know Noah Brown, he's showing up on certain plays. Yeah.
Blue Star still cuts me checks, which is an affiliate of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, just go, real quick, when y'all going back to the studio, man?
I don't know. I have no clue.
No clue. I miss seeing y'all all together in that studio.
I have no clue, man. I have no clue. I do miss being in the studio with those guys, but you know, I do not miss the gas that I waste driving up and down this tollway.
Hey, dog, listen, real quick. I don't know what episode this was. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but I was watching one of the episodes, and they always get on you for being like, "Oh, well, Jesse, he coming, he can late or whatever." One day, I don't know, you was late or something, and you was like, dog, I really was here early, but I was in my car on the phone. I was like, bro.
I swear to God, I was sitting in the parking lot. I swear to God, I was sitting in the park. I was there early.
But I feel you, because you get caught up.
Right. Yeah. I was on Twitter, and I was looking at doing something, and I'm like, is that the graphic of our show? And the music came on. I said, "Oh snap! I forgot this show is about." Yo, I was just sitting there chilling, like, "Oh, I'm good. I got some time." And I see the joint pop up. I said, "Is that my show?
Is that my show on Twitter that I'm supposed to be at?"
And they started. I'm like, "Oh snap! Let me get out." It was the craziest thing. I was actually early, sitting in the parking lot, chilling.
Oh,
I was
man.
chilling. I was chilling hard.
I know how that is, fam.
I was chilling.
I know it. Twitter, you will go down a damn rabbit hole on Twitter and YouTube as well. Shout out to YouTube, right? Wink eye right now.
But nothing but love for YouTube, baby.
But you would go down this rabbit hole and you get caught up. So, but I just remembered that episode and you know, it's funny. I watch all those podcasts when I can, but that one stuck out because you came in. You was like, "Listen, dog, I was here.
I was here.
I was there."
Hey, I got a quick question for you, Jesse, because a lot of people are asking about this, and I want to know it for myself. We've been talking about Connor Williams, right? How, oh my God, how he's just so frustrating. Why is Connor McGovern not even sniffing, smelling, touching, nothing on that? He is not getting no work at all. Like, even when everybody's hurt, nobody's looking at Connor McGovern. What is going on with him? What's up?
Ain't it?
God damn it.
He ain't it.
ain't it. Like what else? What else can you say? He's not hurt.
Yeah.
He got injuries. Like they ain't even put them in the mix.
Right. He ain't even. They ain't even. They said they look down his way and like, who else?
Right. It's like,
Yeah.
Really?
He's like, hey coach, like, get back, get back. Back, man. Sit down. We talking about football players right now. Sit down.
Remember those days.
What you did?
I remember when
see
coach used to
that-
do that.
Sit
I
down,
remember
bro.
when coach used to do that. Get back up.
Hey, fam, you might sit down before we run laps.
Stop bothering me.
Hey, you know how the sponsor thing work. We need players for players. So there's a certain team in Giants land. They picked up Alfred Morris. You remember him? He's still playing. They picked him up. So maybe we can do some trade acquisition with the Giants, right? Right? Is this possible?
They ain't trading no for nobody.
Who we trading?
You know, I mean, we need something.
Hey,
We ain't
listen.
getting
Hey,
nobody.
listen.
There's nothing over here.
Steven
but
said we like what we got over here.
Nothing.
I've been saying this here. How long they gonna take this safety play? Because we seen what happened with that wide receiver by committee in 2018. I feel like they trying to go with safety by committee. Darryl Worley, Brandon Carr, Woods, Thompson. All right, now start 3-5 this year. First year under Mike McCarthy. You might see a little something happen.
There's a large part of me that wants them to sign Earl Thomas.
Yeah.
And only because I wanted to fail so bad.
Oh, come on, John.
Oh man. Come on, man.
Be the bully.
Like, there were people that will just shut up about it.
Shut up.
What the hell is
You're gonna be
even
like,
that?
see, I told you.
I just want to. That's all I want.
Your ass gonna be right on Twitter too.
Jesse, you got
Your ass gonna be right.
see
I
Jesse
can already
tweet
see
already.
yo.
I
I can
want
see this damn tweet.
the
I
smoke.
can see that tweet.
Indignant. It's gonna be. Oh,
But
oh.
but how can we shut up though? Our
Come on,
safeties is
Jesse.
tripping.
Jesse, come on.
Thomas, man. Nobody wants him.
Jesse, you can line up right now. You're going to be like this on the Cowboys secondary. Yeah.
Nobody wants him.
Man, we signed Greg Hardy, fam.
And
Greg-
how'd that work out?
He was all right.
He got
It wasn't bad. It's just when he pushed the coach, that's when it was
Pushed
bad.
the coach though. That's what it was.
He can't- he pushed the coach.
But didn't you want to do the same thing?
Wait, was
Jesse?
you-
Didn't you want to slap the
Was
damn
you there,
clipboard
Jesse?
out of that coach's hand?
Wait, were you there?
No, I wasn't here when he pushed the coach.
You
I
know-
was here, but I wasn't on the team.
I'm about to
Would
say,
love to
give us
see
some
that
insight on that. But yeah,
Everybody wants to punch a coach at some point in time. You don't actually do it.
he actually did it. That motherfucker.
You just
crazy.
stare at him.
Yeah,
I get you.
This, this you walk off and you say, you go tell your boys whatever. You don't actually do it. He actually did it. Like
That's why he went to the UFC.
Yeah, well, Jay Ratcliffe, didn't he do something to somebody?
Real quick.
Antonio Bryant throwing.
nah.
Did Jay
Uh-oh.
Ratcliffe?
See,
Oh,
you play
talk
with
to
Jay.
us.
Hold on, before you go with the Jay story, real quick, rapid fire chat. Hashtag late night hype or LNH. Quick questions, rapid fire, as he tells this story. Go ahead.
So Jay,
I thought Jay's a crazy mother. But I could have sworn he
That
fought
lip is
somebody.
crazy.
so there's very few people that I'm afraid of, and I'm not the toughest joker in the world. I'm not. But I can hold my own in any field.
Right.
Jay's one of the guys I'm afraid of. No. Jay's one of the guys I'm afraid of.
I think
Jay and
Jerry
I
was
were-
afraid of him.
And that's the story. Jay and I's locker were right next to each other. And there were times where I would come in the morning and Jay's like drawers and shorts would be like in my spot. And I'd come like, hey man, like, yo, your stuff right here, man. And he would be like sitting like this. And he'd be like, what? I'm like, never mind. And I'll just fold it up.
What draws?
What
Like,
draw?
yeah, like what draws? I'm like, what? I'm like, never mind, bro. I got it. Don't worry about it. And I just put it in his spot, like all nice and neat. But no, there was a situation where there was some back and forth media stuff, and Jerry came in the locker room, and he and Jay got into it. But Jerry loves Jay, and Jay loves Jerry. But that's just one of the guys who I would, I gracefully bow out.
He mess. Yeah,
He said, I gracefully bow. Like, I'm good.
I'm
Like,
good.
no.
Good. You want these draws clean, you know?
I ain't doing that.
Jay was one of them dudes that, and like, the funny part about like me and Jay used to run together. Like we used to do our, you know what I'm saying? Me and Jay was cool. We was cool. But nah.
Okay, so basically, Jay Ratliff is we had Darren Woodson on. Darren Woodson said, yeah, Eric Williams was the one he wasn't messing with. So Jay Ratliff is like Big E from back in the day.
And like, and he's small, like Jay's smaller now, but like when he was in here, like his playing,
yeah, he was big.
I think he was like, it wasn't all
that damn looking them damn. When they put that
Bro,
stuff
dog,
in the eyes,
when
I'm
you're
like
290 pounds and you playing the
tackle,
the defense tackle with a 3-4, the nose tackle.
Right.
You gotta be not
you
wired
gotta be,
right.
Yeah, you can't.
That don't
Brandon
make
Tuck.
sense.
Hey, Scott. Remember when Brandon Tuck was on the show? Didn't he say
different?
He said defensive linemen are different.
They're not wired straight.
Jay's different, man. Like Jay ripped the front bumper off your car. Like that's the type of Jay. Like Jay's like that. Like I don't fool with Jay. Like every time I see him, I'm like, "What's up?" I like try to give him a hug because
I don't know what you about to do with these hands, dog. What up, bro?
I don't want no smoke. Like,
I got
reckless. I'll be like, "Hey, man, God is love, bro. Like, let's pray together." And he'd be like, when I see him smack you, I'll be like, "Hey, man, let's pray together, brother."
I hate them, dog. My boys like that be always want to be physical with you when they see you and just going to hit you. Like, dog, chill out. I ain't big.
Everything, and like sometimes you don't know whether he's serious or not. So it's like, let's not even go there.
Just not do that.
Yeah.
Hey, I do got some rapid fire. I got rapid fire.
Let's go, rapid fire.
One of them is by our guy, the Cowboy Network, aka Sosa, man. Make sure you guys follow him on every platform: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And if you can, Jesse, look him up, man. He drops some really good Cowboys information and visuals at that on Twitter at the Cowboys Net. He says, LNH, hashtag LNH, most impressed player this year not named Alden Smith. Go.
Good question.
Most impressed player this year.
Impressive player not named Alden Smith.
It's easy.
Don't throw Dak in there. Don't throw Dak in there either.
Yeah,
Why not?
Quarterback's always too easy.
That's what we're gonna say. Yeah.
He said,
It's kind of when you think about the defense, it's kind of tough. There's really not many on
really
defense.
Difficult. Ain't nothing on defense.
No,
You gotta be.
Why not Michael Gallup?
Oh, yeah.
Michael Gallup. I'll go. Yeah, that's a great one. Michael Gallup. I love Michael Gallup, man.
Was that a PI on him? I need to know your
Come on,
thoughts on
dog.
that. Was that PI?
Week 1?
Week 1.
Yeah.
It was PI.
You can't do that, man. You can't do that.
Jesse.
you know, Michael Irvin said, no, you can't push with the back of your hand. That was no PI. You know, that was Michael Irvin was saying.
Well, Mike was he invented offensive
He
passing.
was sweating and
Homer.
everything.
Here's what I'll tell you, Scott. We have the luxury of watching this in slow-mo.
This is true.
With different angles
Mm-hmm.
in the comfort of our own home.
Yeah.
You're not standing out there in the field. Like it wasn't like he didn't beat Jalen. Like Jalen was running stride for stride with him. Like he had a step on Jalen.
He did.
He had a step on Jalen, but it wasn't like how they be having a step on our defense now.
What?
Like,
no, it wasn't.
You know what I'm saying? And
But it still
whenever
was
a
a
ref
step.
sees this, for the most part, running stride for stride with somebody, that's gonna be called.
But I felt like he was pulling off of the ball. Like, yo, get off my hands.
Pulling off and off.
Pushing.
That's this and this. If you'd have went here, a little bit of this, but this, that's what they call it every single time.
I hate to say this because you're a receiver, so
Yeah.
so I'm gonna ask this question in today's era because kind of when you played and even before that, this was no, you don't do this. But do you because Jalen definitely flopped, and he got the call. But should Michael, because this ain't the first time in the Seahawks game, same thing happened. Should he start to kind of sell it? Because he's not getting these calls. He's kind of getting the Shaq treatment.
He has to do what people like have done to us before in the past. They would go to the refs before the game and be like, "Hey, number 19." Like when he comes up, like he does his curl routes, he pushes me off. Like start going to the refs. Start priming the refs. But see, that's a vet move, right? That's a vet move. Start priming the ref early in the game before the game even starts. You warming up. Like, ref, listen, I'm playing so-and-so today, man. That joke could be grabbing, da-da-da-da-da-da. And now I've primed the ref so that when he it flashes, he's like, oh, that's it. I saw it. It's remember the movie Focus with Will Smith?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's a part in that movie, right, where the guy, he's making this big bet, and the guy, but all through town, he's like priming his mind because he's seeing the same number over and over and over and over and over again. So in that moment, the guy picks one number on the football field, and what number did he pick? The number that he was primed to see all day long. So Will had primed this number into his head all day long. So when he finally had to pick a number, that was the number that came to memory. The vet move is to go to the referee before the game and just prime them all game long. Prime them. And that's how you get that. That's how you get that call. And sometimes it's like you see it in the NBA. Sometimes, Jalen Ramsey, one of the best cornerbacks in the league, he gets the benefit of the doubt because he's a superstar and he's been in the league for a while. And you think in your mind, a referee knows who he playing. A referee knows this is Jalen Ramsey. That's Aaron Rodgers. That's so-and-so and so-and-so. That's Tom Brady. He knows that. So when you see Jalen Ramsey do this or a guy beat him, you're thinking something had to happen. Because I'm accustomed to seeing this guy usually be in great coverage. So like that's the human part of refereeing, is that you watch the game just like everyone else, and you recognize the stars and the players. And so when you see things that normally you don't see from that particular player, you might sometimes think, well, what happened? And in those moments, you're thinking, that's Jalen Ramsey. I'm on this side. I see this. Oh, that's got to be a flag.
Well, let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this. Why don't our dog, and I want to know your opinion on him as well, Amari Cooper, why he never gets a call? I seen him get hit in the head,
He's a quiet, silent assassin. He's just like,
because
God, he ain't gonna say nothing.
Probably why. It's probably too quiet.
I seen Kyle Shanahan last year, dog, against the Packers. He went to the ref. He said, hey, Kittle was about to do a 5-yard out. This cornerback or safety is going to hold.
Nope.
Watch him. He was like a clairvoyant. He literally held, and the referee threw the flag. Yeah. Maybe, like you said, I think that's the approach that should go. No flop or anything. Just go to the ref and say, hey, listen, man, you watch my tape. I'm aggressive. I'm physical. I'm not going to cry or whine about it. However, motherfuckers is holding me. Motherfuckers is interfering on me. So just keep an eye on it. So I like that better.
You know why Draymond Green, when he plays, get a chance to do all that antics and all that kind of stuff? Because they're used to seeing it. But when someone else does it, it's automatically like, what? Oh, whoa, no, I'm banging you.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's you got to prime the refs to say, hey, this is what's happening. This is what's happening, so that their mind begins to see it. Now I know when I play so-and-so and so-and-so, that's the deal.
Remember, guys, in the comments, questions, you got to put hashtag LNH or late night hype. We got one kind of question from Young Wilson, our Hawaii Uso. Shout out to you, Young. He said hashtag Joe Thomas. So basically, how you feeling about Joe Thomas? I've been saying Joe has been our best linebacker so far. I'm not saying sign a guy to all these crazy deals or anything like that, but right now he looks like the most impressive linebacker. Yeah. How we feeling? How you feel about how Joe's playing so far?
I like the way he's playing. But Joe's another guy who didn't get a ton of reps prior to Leighton Vander going out. So for him, he's still learning. He's still learning how to diagnose plays and see plays and hear audibles and all that kind of stuff. So for me, I think the more reps Joe Thomas get, the better you're going to see him be. He's a solid football player. He's not going to wow you with a lot of different stuff. He's going to tackle you. He's going to wrap you up. Mm-hmm. He struggles a little bit in coverage if he has to cover. But for the most part, he's a solid linebacker. I like Joe Thomas.
I do too.
I like Joe Thomas.
Yeah, me as well.
Yeah, Joe. Lakers is doing good, just so you know.
Yeah, what is that? Okay.
I was 80-54, y'all smashing, and I think Butler's out.
Butler's out.
It's probably going to be 4-1.
And y'all, but not put no asterisk on this. Can't put no asterisk on this.
Gentlemen's sweep.
Y'all got a good ass championship. I salute y'all. Kiss my.
He's so mad, dog. Hey, Jesse, we did a live game stream with the Mavericks and the Suns when this whole bubble thing popped off. This motherfucker was in there pissed the hell off because me and him are Laker fans. And soon as we played and lost to who do we lose to? You was just yapping it up.
Yeah.
So that's why we get on. That's why he mad, because we get on him.
Mm-hmm. He's just mad.
All right, let's find another one. Hashtag LNH. What about Ronald Leary? Why not sign Ronald Leary to play for in substitute of Connor Williams?
I think Ron wants too much money.
Dang,
Yeah, I
Ron,
heard.
you ain't even played, fam.
I think
He
Ron's
said,
like,
I'm healthy.
Ron's like, y'all need me more than I need you right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so, and Ron got a nice little chunk of change when he went to Denver.
Yeah,
So he ain't hurting for no money, and the Cowboys might be trying to do a lot of league
Finessing.
minimum,
Brandon Cardill. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
Ron's
Ron
like,
said I want mine.
Ron, like, I'll play too long.
I
I
ain't
got
want to
bad
pay me
knees.
before, y'all got to pay me now.
Oh, that could be it. That could be it.
Yeah.
I ain't
And
gonna give y'all a discount.
in the original report said it's not about the money. So I guess it was about the money.
It's always about the money. It's always about the money.
I got two of them here that's kind of like one. Hashtag from Cowboys Coffee Talk and King Marquise. One says, thoughts on the idea of putting Lewis at safety, and then right after that, another guy says basically your thoughts on Trevon Diggs playing safety, which I don't think that was a thing. He's our best corner, but I feel like he could be better than what we have. So the safety position, do you think Lewis could be a guy, or what are we doing there?
So then who comes and plays corner?
I don't know about
Brandon
Trevon Diggs going to play safety, but Lewis.
If Jordan Lewis goes to play safety, then who comes and plays? Like who are my corners now?
Do you trust Carr coming down?
Carr,
Diggs, and you slide Worley in the slot. He plays some
Worley,
slot in
yeah.
camp. I don't know that I like it better.
Put Worley at safety.
He
I think he's played some safety
He's
snaps.
played some
plays
safety.
some position.
I like Jordan Lewis playing down.
Struggling.
Down.
Struggling.
I know, but moving him back to safety won't help that.
Yeah, not without a camp or any. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Good.
people don't understand.
He's grabby though.
Like it's a
It's
lot
not easy to change from safety to corner to safety.
So I think leave guys where they're at right now and just weather the storm, man. You got to just weather the storm. It can't get any worse than this, right?
Yeah.
Oh no! Don't say that.
Nelson
No,
asked
let me
about
know.
Don't say
Robinson.
that. Don't say
He
that.
asked about the rookie Robinson, but guys, we have to understand he ain't ready. He's been inactive every single game. So with what we have at the DBs right now with injuries, if they believed in this guy, he'd be playing. So
That's what I'm saying. Like that's people just want
Like Donovan Wilson. Or what they're talking about
Donovan
Donovan
Wilson can't
Wilson.
even find the field. Like what's going on with Donovan? He don't even know where the field is at.
On special teams, you do.
yeah, see, I'm getting these Reggie Jones. Guru says Mike Fisher says the physical was not an issue. Ron Leary, it must be money related, like you said. So
yeah. Ron's healthy.
He said he's been the healthiest
lives
in 2 years. He said this is as healthy as he's been, and he said I got stuff to prove. So
He lives here. He lives in the DFW area.
mhm.
Yeah.
Victor says any context as to why we haven't heard anything on Sean Lee, since the subject is more on Lyman and Jalen looks lost without LV. Well, I know you can say the Sean Lee, but let's be real. We could use his services right now.
I wish I could kept Malcolm Smith.
Listen to me very well. The next uniform that Sean Lee should put on for the
Tell him.
Cowboys,
Polo.
khaki
Polo.
pants.
What'd you say?
Tell him, Jesse. Tell him again, Jesse. Say it loud, please. Say it
Let
loud,
him
Jesse.
say it.
And a cowboy headset. Don't put Sean Lee back on the football field.
Thank you.
His uniform should be pressed
Thank you.
on a hanger, slightly starched,
Slightly starched with the creases.
with the creases in them. With the flat, don't put the pleated pants on him. It's a little too young to do that pleated pants. Put the big flat leg front
Don't give him the John Harbaughs.
No, don't give him them. Give him the Jason Garrett
Or is it
specials.
Jim Harbaugh.
Jason Garrett
Give him
specials.
the JG specials, man, and let him rock out with that.
Yeah, it's time, Sean. It's time.
Over under how many games will LVE will play then
Sean Lee
year?
Jr.
this year? Sean Lee
This year
Jr.
or in total?
This
This
year.
year?
This year.
Well, he's 3 in, and he's oof.
He can't come back. What? Like it says, like 8 weeks.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say 5.
Ooh, that means he ain't gonna play that much when he come back. Which wouldn't be a shocker. Would be a shocker. I had one up here about the lineman, the young buck that got Tyler Biadasz versus Joe Looney. I liked what I saw from him. I'm be honest with you. From Tyler Biadasz. He's working his way towards being called. We dubbed him Tyler Badass, right? Mm-hmm. And then I said we got to take that away from you because the season done started. You got to earn it.
Right.
Okay. I thought he looked pretty damn good against Seattle.
Now, what you have to see now is, okay, the Seahawks didn't game plan for you.
Right.
You came in.
Okay.
And they had to adjust. So now that you got a little film out there, and now a team has a game plan for you, how will you hold up this week? So like it's easy, like when a guy comes in who's not being game planned for, and you know, that's different. So now they got a little film on you. Now you're gonna be, it won't be just 25 reps. It's gonna be the whole 70. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be 40, it ain't gonna be 35 reps, it's gonna be the whole 70. Now that's gonna be the test. The test will come this week when the team has an opportunity to game plan for you and now make you the focal point of things that they want to do. Because best believe, they're gonna come for them. They're gonna check that chin and gonna check if you really bad. They're gonna check and see if you really bad. Or
they got a bad one on the other side over there in Cleveland, and Sheldon Richardson. Like you know, he may not be the Jet Sheldon Richardson, but he ain't no slouch. And he a veteran. He got grown man strength.
Right.
And they got some Cowboys players over there. Jalen Joe Jackson has got some reps over there. He's playing. Malcolm Smith, who I thought they should have kept, he's over there. He just had an interception last week, so they're doing a thing. But I got a quick question from Ron from Shreveport, Jesse. This is the one, my only one. He asked that if we're under 500 before the trade deadline, who do you think the Cowboys would, like kind of what Scott said, would they go out there? I think it may have been talked about, but would they go out there and try to make a trade, like if it was like the 3-5 or the 3-6, something like that, right before that deadline? Do you think they would jump out there and say, let's go ahead and make this something happen before this be a lost season?
At safety?
Any position.
You see, you said safety because you know that's the damn problem.
Yeah.
Well, I admit that safety is a problem. And they're not playing well right now.
Yeah. It's hard to believe Dallas is going to make a trade because we don't do stuff like that. Like the Cooper thing was, it feels like a one-off.
That was like
one-off. Yeah.
A universe.
They knew they couldn't function without. They knew they couldn't function without a number one receiver. They were like, we got to do something, and that kind of fell into their lap. I wouldn't take it off the table, but if we under 500 at the halfway point, if we like, you know, what?
3-5. That's just called the same thing.
If we 3-5, maybe. If we like
4-4, not under 500, but if we 2-6, if we 2-6.
Oh, the 2-6, the season is over.
Fam.
Fam. We done lost to the Giants, the Eagles, the Washington. Come on, man.
If we 2-6, they ain't trading nobody. We're not giving them no assets.
No.
We got a lot of people. And that's the thing for the Cowboys. It's when you look at, you got to address the safety position, offensive lineman, linebacker, and defensive tackle. So you can't be giving up assets. You can't be trading away draft picks. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, yeah, we want to trade, but is that going to be, if we 2-6, ain't no need for us.
I'm not trading pieces.
We ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like, oh, you 4-4, and maybe, I mean, you 2-4 or 3-3 or something like that, or 4-4, whatever, and you're like, maybe we got a chance. If we maybe, you know, if you're a piece away from really turning the corner, then maybe. But if you're not, if your old lineman is still, you know, your line's still decimated, your secondary is still bad, your linebacker play is still bad, you 2-6, you chalk that one up and say, all right, let's start scouting these guys that are playing in the night.
Let's start scouting these COVID college athletes real quick.
Exactly.
See what we got. Hey, that's the last LNH's hashtag late night hype I got over here, fellas. So if y'all got anyone that want to go before we wrap up here, go right on ahead.
I'm good.
That's it, Law. Nobody in your chat there.
I'm looking now. I don't see nobody.
I mean, Jonathan just dropped
Jesse
one.
did a hell of a job. You was killing that rapid fire.
Yeah. Jonathan, real quick, I'll leave out on this one. Any team? Do you think any teams will bite on Cedric Wilson or Noah Brown, or is it too early for them to be valuable
in a trade?
Yeah, I can't see it. No. I agree, man. I agree.
Oh, I got one last one. I'm sorry, Jesse. It just popped in my head. This is my own personal one.
Let's say LNH.
In my head, I'm thinking to say that, like, you ain't say LNH.
This is about D-Law. Now, we see about the injury, right? And we were just talking about, let's say he has another season where he gets like 5 or 4 sacks. Do you think about trading him in the offseason?
Ooh, that's T. Now, see?
Ooh.
So
Do you trade him before he declines and get some picks for him?
Here's the thing. Like, we can talk about trades all we want. It takes 2 to tango.
It takes 2.
You don't think he would? You don't think he would have a market?
He had a market, but my thing is that one, a team has to want to pick up that contract.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Either you're
He's so injury prone.
You're gonna have to eat a lot of that, which the Cowboys can't afford. What's coming down the pike with Dak Prescott? They can't be eating a contract for a guy who ain't here, because Dak ain't taking no discounts.
And it's COVID.
You know what I'm saying? He ain't taking no discounts. And if he continue at this pace, at the end of the day, he's gonna say, "Well, here's what my numbers say. You should have got a better defense, but I passed for 5,000 yards. I got 35 touchdowns, and
6,000.
you know what I'm saying? Whatever my QPR, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you know what Jerry gonna say? Here's the franchise tag. If he don't get to the playoffs, or if he don't win a playoff game, it could be if they don't even go to the Super Bowl.
Well, that
You know how this
franchise
thing
tag
go.
gonna cost you $40 million.
Franchise gonna cost you $40 million,
Yeah.
or damn near close to it. So
Right.
you still gonna be on the hook
Gonna be on the hook.
for $38, $39 million. So for that tank contract, you know, if somebody's not gonna eat that whole, like, take on that whole contract and give you something in return, you don't have the leverage to eat that money up. You just don't. That's the thing, that you just don't have. You don't have the cap to eat that contract up and pay Dak and then try to go get better in all other places that you need to get better at. Your best bet is pray to whatever God that you believe in, that he gets healed and turns into what we thought he was going to turn into prior to him getting paid.
I can't ever believe that, because his whole career he's been injured.
Well,
Yeah, that's crazy. You think about it.
His whole career, every year he's been hurt.
Well, listen, we ain't trying to hear that, bro. You get $18 million. I listen. I love you, D-Law. I really do. I do think you're very good and it's a great at other aspects of things. And I said last year, listen, yeah, he didn't have 5. He only had 5 sacks, but he was great against the run. But you ain't. Let's be real. You're not paying him to be great against the run.
Yeah, run stopper. Yeah.
Be great against the run, but please be great against the pass too.
Gotta be great all the way around.
Finish. Like, I know sacks ain't everything, but sacks matter. Ooh, did I create something here? Sacks matter.
You should probably do.
Because a lot of people don't believe they do matter. A lot of people think it's a ridiculous stat.
But it's not even, like, the sacks matter, but he's not even getting the pressures no more. Like,
No.
you're not even getting the pressures no more, right? Like, that's the crazy part about it. Like, you're not
According to the stats, they said he's the
They
leading.
lying, because I checked him.
Pressure.
And he
He's
ain't leading
lying.
pressures.
I
checked it.
He up there with the pressures for the team, but but this is go back to what you were saying at the beginning of the show. It's not like we're pressuring the quarterback anyway. So that's like when Jeff Heath was leading the team in interceptions. Well, it's not like we're intercepting the ball. He's leading the team with 2. So
we champion.
what are we talking here? Oh man, dog. Marvin says sack lives matter. I'm
That's a
done.
good one.
That's LM.
I'm done. I'm done, Marvin. You wild,
Yeah.
man. Hey, Jesse, dog. As usual, fam. This was freaking awesome, dog. Listen. You stuck with us through the whole damn seem like the Laker game. I don't even know what the score is. I'm trying to peek to see if we got.
They
some-
won out by 30.
Oh,
Yeah, we
well, damn,
won.
well,
So
shoot.
this is good luck when we have Jesse on the show.
It's
You
good
know
luck.
how it goes.
It's good luck. Hey, game 2, be back. Nah, but
We'll be back on Friday, yo. We back here on Friday.
It's the late night hype again.
This late night hype.
party shots, Jesse. Go ahead.
Man, listen, guys, keep doing your thing. I'm working on a couple things that'll be coming out this year. I'm excited about them. I have more information soon.
Please let us know.
Soon about
Love
a
the
couple
support.
things, and I'm really, really, really excited about it, man. It's been a long time coming, and you know, it's I got some great people on my side, and so I'm excited about them, and I will, I'll be back on you guys.
If it is what I think it is, so the timing is right now.
Timing is getting right.
The timing is right. Awesome. Because I've been waiting.
Timing is getting right.
I need to add to my playlist. But I mean, wait.
Timing is getting right.
Parting shots, Law Nation and James.
Let me go first because Law. He's the closer. Just parting shots. Like I said, we appreciate you again, Jesse, for bringing all that good. Gosh, that good cooking. I just got to stirring it up and all that good
Jesse
stuff.
cook.
Right. Just appreciate you, just coming in. When I hit you up, I just appreciate the times I have hit you up. You jump right in and you know what I'm saying, say, hey, I got you. That really means a lot to me. I'm sure it means a lot to the guys.
Oh, for sure.
Have you done that? And that's just really my parting shot, man. I just really appreciate that because, like I said, so many people in the media, I ain't hating. They kind of get the big head and they're like, I ain't touching you. I ain't talking to y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you always just showing love to us. Even when you do your good morning thing, every time I say good morning back to you, you know what I'm saying? You always give me a good morning. I do appreciate those little things. So I got much respect for you and thank you for everything you do and keep on grinding, dog. I love everything you do.
Appreciate it, man. Love you guys. Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Jesse, man, you are the people's champ over there, man. And keep doing your thing, man.
I love your voice, man. No homo. Like
we always be talking.
Don't talk to me like that. Don't come in here with the joint, man. You don't do that.
Like, you can't let Law talk to your lady.
I know.
Yeah, don't come over my house, Law. Bye.
Yeah. I was just thinking,
See, listen,
right.
That's not. I always wanted a voice like that. Like, in the morning, I'm like that. In the morning, I'm like, but they don't last very long.
It don't.
It's just for a few seconds, right?
I don't go that way, but I'm just saying, damn. Go ahead, brother.
Man, it's a pleasure, man, for us to have a time and a moment with you. And especially everybody that's listening right now, Cowboy Nation, follow Jesse, man. He got a great, not a good one, a great Twitter follower, a great Twitter handle. And also, let's continue to grind. Let's continue to support this thing. Shout out to Scott Walker, man. Continue to do your thing. Big Game James, man. Everything else remained the same over there, man. I love your passion, bro. And let's continue to find ways. Hey, there's a win out there some way.
Hey,
there's a win out there.
He don't even try to when he does.
He just flow. Crazy.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate
it.
Man,
let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's go.
Everything they said, Jesse, man. I really do. When they say you come on the show, dog, it's really probably the most excited I get for most of the guests we have here. Because you just keep it real with us. Yeah. And you down to earth, and I appreciate that, man. And let me shout out your foundation as well, man.
Oh, Holley's Helping Hands.
Yes, Holley's Helping Hands. I remember when you told me about that when you first came on, I immediately wanted to get over there and help donate to that guy. Just let them know where they can help and what it is. Let them know.
So Holley's Helping Hands is my charity. Every single year I do a big Christmas event. This year maybe have to be a little off a little bit because of COVID. But what I do is I find families in the DFW area who are underprivileged. As a poor kid growing up, I knew what it was like to not have Christmas. And I just want to give an opportunity for kids all across the DFW, area to have a Christmas of a lifetime. And so we go out, we have these families come, we do it at Dave & Buster's. We get a list of all their sizes, and we get them coats and jeans and sneakers and clothes. But we also get them gifts. Now we're not getting the new PS5s, but we just try to make sure that on that day, on that Christmas in this year, that they get a chance to open up gifts that for themselves. And so, that goes such a long way, man. And so we've been doing this for, I don't even know, man. It feels like 8, 9, 10 years. And then we also do stuff, man. We pay off lunch debts. We feed the homeless. We do a bunch of different things, man. But that Christmas thing for us is really, really, really big and near and dear to me. So if you ever want to donate, go to my Twitter page. The link is in my bio.
It's right there.
It's right there. Hit that link, man. $5, $10, $15, $20, whatever put the beer down for the day. Don't get that Starbucks coffee. Tell Chick-fil-A I can't do it today. I'm gonna donate this number one to Holley's Helping Hand, and I promise you will be richly rewarded for that, because a kid will be able to open up a gift this year and be like, you know what? Dang, I didn't have my number one at Chick-fil-A, but a kid got a chance to open up a gift on Christmas. So, like I said, anything and everything helps. We are always appreciative of everything. Like I said, and then people are like, all I can give is $5. Listen, $5, that's a pack of draws.
Right.
$5 holla.
That's some socks. That's a t-shirt. You know, we get on the clearance rack. We're gonna find it. We're gonna go out and get it. So don't think just because it's $5 that we can't use it. We can use it all. $5, $10, $50, $100, whatever it is, we can use it. So if you give, thank you. If you can't give, pray about somebody else being able to give as much as they possibly can. So yeah, thank you guys, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Mr. Fourth and Long on Twitter, and it's I think he has it pinned at the top as well. So if you guys want to go help out with that, definitely go check it out. Thank you guys in the chat for rocking with us. I know when we have guests on, we don't really do the calls and things like that, and you guys still rock with us. We was almost a K deep up in here. Jesse, they was loving the show, man. They was loving you, man. So I appreciate you guys.
Sports talk equivalent of Braille. People feel me when I speak.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Yo.
Hey, one last thing, Jesse. My mama T, she's a diehard Heels fan. Like, she reps North Carolina. I'm trying to tell you, she reps North Carolina like no other.
There we go, baby.
She said, you better make sure my boy Holley, because as soon as I say you on the show, she blows up my inbox. Said, you better make sure Holley gives my shout out. So Mama T says hi to Mr. Jesse Holley.
Mama T, thank you so much. Tar Heel born, Tar Heel bred. When I die, I'm a Tar Heel bred. I'm a Tar Heel dead. So rah Carolina Lana, rah Carolina Lana, rah Carolina.
She gonna play that all day, dog.
So Mama T, thank you so much for rocking with the Tar Heels. You know what it is. God has to be a Tar Heel fan. That's why the Sky's Carolina.
Look,
I should have got him started.
Cowboys, Tar Heels. See, Jesse, I just knew. I just knew. Yeah. Hey, man, listen, we got a thing on this show and my show. If I don't press this button, Jesse, we'd be sitting here till about 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'm gonna press this button. And we're going to get up out of here. Listen, y'all, I appreciate everybody in the chat. I appreciate you, Jesse. We'll stick around real quick after we get off here. We'll wrap for a few seconds here. But thank you guys, man, for rocking out with us. Shout out to you guys. Late Night Hype, Jesse Holley, Big Game James, Law Nation, The Voice. Love you guys.
Remember, you're listening to Nothing But the Bad.